The victory in the Battle of Fangtu resolved the Yan dynasty's first crisis of annihilation after establishing control over the Central Plains. This success is attributed to Prince Murong Chui, the fifth uncle of the emperor, a genius military strategist of the 16 Kingdoms period and a distinguished general of the Xianbei people. He mastered the art of war to an extraordinary level, particularly in his use of intelligence warfare, which left his opponent, the Eastern Jin's famous Han general Huan Wen, constantly on the defensive and deceived. The process of the Battle of Fangtu is so remarkable that it could be included in military history textbooks. The Yan dynasty should consider itself fortunate to have a military commander like Murong Chui. As Murong Chui repeatedly advised Murong Wei before his death, if your majesty entrusts him with state affairs, the country will achieve stability. The victory at the Battle of Fangtu is the best proof of this. From that point on, neither the Eastern Jin nor the Qin dynasty dared to underestimate the Yan dynasty, but sadly, the royal members of the Yan dynasty were oblivious to their good fortune. Instead of being grateful to Prince Murong Chui for the victory at the Battle of Fangtu, which averted the crisis of the dynasty's destruction, they became increasingly wary of his growing prestige in the court and among the military and the people. Rather than appreciate his contributions, they were more eager to eliminate him. When Murong Chui proposed rewarding the soldiers under his command for their efforts in the Battle of Fangtu, he was met with refusal from Murong Ping, which left him greatly dissatisfied and led to a conflict between the two. Empress Dowager Kezuhan had harbored a grudge against Murong Chui ever since she forced his wife, Lady Duan, to her death years ago. Consequently, the Empress Dowager and the powerful minister Murong Ping conspired to kill Murong Chui, even if it meant destroying the Yan dynasty's protector and tearing down their own Great Wall. The former regent Murong Chui's son, Murong Chui, along with Murong Chui's uncle, Lan Jian, learned of the conspiracy and informed Murong Chui. They advised him, saying, "Strike first. If you eliminate Murong Ping and Prince Murong Zong of Luan, the others will be powerless." However, Murong Chui could not bear the thought of causing internal strife among the Murong royal family, which would lead to turmoil in the country. He refused, saying, "I would rather die than bring chaos to the nation." Not long after, Murong Chui and Lan Jian came again with a report, saying, "Empress Dowager Kezuhan has already made up her mind, we must act quickly." At this point, Murong Chui recalled the similar fate that befell his uncle, Murong Han, and lamented, "This cannot be mended. I would rather withdraw than discuss it further." With that, he decided to leave the Yan capital, Yeqing, unwilling to sit and wait for his doom. For the story of Murong Han, see The Tragic Hero of Xianbei, Murong Han, published on June 24, 2024. Murong Chui's eldest son, Murong Ling, noticed that his father seemed deeply troubled and asked, "Father, are you worried because of Murong Ping's suspicion?" Murong Chui nodded and replied sorrowfully, "I fought desperately to defeat the Jin army, hoping to preserve the state, but I never imagined there would be no place for me here." Murong Ling said, "It might be better to go to Longqing for now and let the ruler see your unwavering loyalty. If that doesn't work, then occupy Fairu as a place to establish yourself." Murong Chui agreed with this suggestion. In November 369, under the pretense of going on a hunting trip, Murong Chui left Yeqing and headed toward Longqing. When they reached Handan, Murong Chui's youngest son, Murong Lin, who was not favored by his father, escaped back to Yeqing and informed Murong Ping of Murong Chui's secret departure. Murong Ping immediately dispatched Murong Chong to pursue him. However, when Murong Chong reached Fanyang, he was intercepted by Murong Ling and did not dare to continue the pursuit. At this point, Murong Ling said to Murong Chui, "Our plan has been exposed. Even if we reach Longqing, there will be no good outcome for us. We should consider seeking refuge in the Qin state instead." Murong Chui responded, "That is our only option." On their way to the Qin state, when Murong Chui and his group attempted to cross the Yellow River, a low-ranking official guarding the crossing refused to let them pass. Enraged, Murong Chui drew his sword and killed the official, after which the other soldiers did not attempt to stop them. As they passed through Luoyang, another group of pursuers approached, but Murong Ling easily drove them away. Murong Chui's prestige within the Yan army was so high that the soldiers were unwilling to hinder him, allowing Murong Chui and his group to pass through without further obstacles. Since the death of the former regent Murong Chui, the former Qin ruler Fu Jian had harbored intentions of attacking the Yan dynasty. However, out of fear of Murong Chui's reputation, he had been hesitant to act rashly. When he suddenly heard that Murong Chui was coming to submit, he was overjoyed and personally led a group of officials to the outskirts of the capital to welcome him. Fu Jian, cherishingly stroking Murong Chui's hand, said, "You are naturally a great talent, and it is destined that we will achieve great success together. We shall establish the world together, declare our accomplishments at Mount Tai, and then return your original lands to you, granting you a hereditary title in Yuzhou. This way, you can show filial piety by not losing your country, and you can show loyalty to your sovereign by returning to me. Isn't that a splendid arrangement?" Murong Chui gratefully replied, "As a traveling official, being exempt from punishment is fortunate. I do not dare to hope for such honor for my homeland." Fu Jian, admiring the talents of Murong Ling and Murong Cai, treated them generously, bestowing upon them vast rewards. Each time they were presented, it was with great honor. The people of the Qin state had long heard of the reputation of Murong Chui and his sons, and held them in high regard. Qin Prime Minister Wang Meng deeply understood that Murong Chui not only possessed extraordinary strategic skills, but also had an exceptional sense of belonging and loyalty to the Murong family. His current move to the Qin state was merely a strategic adjustment. His real aim was to avoid internal conflicts within the Murong family to prevent turmoil in the Yan dynasty's political situation, which could lead to the collapse of their rule. The rebellion of the Eight Kings, which saw the powerful Sima family overthrown by the Xiongnu leader Lu Yuan, served as a cautionary tale. What Murong Chui was thinking was also well understood by the astute Wang Meng. Concerned that Murong Chui's presence might eventually harm the Qin state, Wang Meng said to Fu Jian, "Murong Chui, a relative of the Yan dynasty, is a great figure in the eastern Xia, known for his broad and benevolent nature, and he has won the favor of both the gentry and the common people. Between Yan and Zhao, he is held in high regard. Observing his talents and strategies, he is a formidable figure with unmatched skills, and his sons are also talented and capable. A dragon or fierce beast cannot be tamed, it would be better to eliminate him." However, Fu Jian disagreed, saying, "I have just brought great talents here with righteousness and achieved unprecedented success. Moreover, when he first arrived, I treated him with utmost sincerity. If I were to harm him now, what would people say about me?" He then appointed Murong Chui as the general of the vanguard and granted him the title of Marquis of Bindu, with a fief of 500 households in Huayin. Wang Meng was a realist who understood that Fu Jian was naturally kind-hearted and a typical idealist. As Fu Jian's loyal assistant, Wang Meng had to silently guard against actions Fu Jian did not understand or was unwilling to take, even if it meant risking his own reputation. This led to the later Gold Dagger Plan story. For details, see Gold Dagger Plan. Wang Meng, the outstanding Prime Minister of the 16 Kingdoms period Part 3, published March 28, 2024. But Wang Meng could never have imagined that his meticulously crafted Gold Dagger Plan, hailed as the greatest stratagem of ancient and modern times, would be of no interest to the extreme idealist Fu Jian. Afterwards, Fu Jian did not blame Murong Chui. Instead, he comforted him, saying, "You sought refuge with me due to the conflicts within your family and the court. A wise person does not forget their roots and still longs for their homeland. This is simply a matter of individual aspiration and not something to be severely reproached." However, the Yan state is on the brink of collapse, and Murong Ling cannot save it. It's a pity that he has entered the tiger's mouth in vain. Besides, father and son, brothers, should not be held collectively accountable. Why should you be so excessively fearful and distressed? Fu Jian treated Murong Chui with the same respect as before. This shows that Fu Jian had a deep and unwavering affection for Murong Chui, to the point of being unable to extricate himself from it. Even the exceptionally intelligent Wang Meng was powerless to change this.